everyone. I'm Charly Edsitty.
And I'm Courtney Carpenter. Welcome to First at 4. We'll start off with our meteorologist, Elita Loresca, with a first look at our weather. Elita, girl, what's on tap for today?
Well, we're dry for now. It's warm, it's humid, but we are tracking a line of heavy rain and thunderstorms out toward the hill country. And model data is showing that these thunderstorms are heading in our direction over the course of the morning. So hang in there. We've got temperature readings running a little bit warmer compared to yesterday. Those dew point temperatures, the measure of moisture in the atmosphere, is also on the rise, meaning that that warm, humid air from the Gulf has returned. We've got temperature readings in Sealy in the mid-70s, low 70s in Tomball. Here's a look at 13 alert radar. Our radar network is showing that we've got this heavy line of showers and thunderstorms already prompting some strong thunderstorm alerts. And with some of that heavy rain embedded within those thunderstorms, we're also looking at some flood advisories. Now, this complex of storms is all along a frontal boundary that will eventually deliver a brief break in the humidity as we get into Saturday. But let's get in closer here where you can see that heavy line now pushing toward Interstate 35, moving toward Travis County in and around the Austin area. And it looks like it's going to remain intact as it presses closer into our northwest counties later on this morning. The big question is whether or not it hits a ceiling of stable air. And with that stable air, that's going to help weaken the line. Now, based on our latest computer model data, it does look like that line could become more scattered in nature, but there's still going to be some pockets of heavy rain and the potential for some strong and isolated severe thunderstorms. These are the type of thunderstorms that could throw down some strong gusts. We already know the history of this as it's throwing down some strong wind gusts over the hill country. So as it presses closer toward Interstate 10, look at the timing right in that heart of the morning commute for many of you, anywhere between 6 and 8 a.m. And then that frontal boundary is going to be pushing closer to the coastline later on this morning into the early part of the afternoon. So I've got you down for about a 60% chance, coverage-wise, showers and thunderstorms coming in for that morning commute. And then as we get into the afternoon, the boundary is still kind of hanging around, so there could be some additional rain showers as we get closer toward the evening hours. It won't be completely dry, but the coverage will be noticeably less compared to what we're going to experience this morning. So I've got those rain chances ramping up mid to late morning, somewhere between 40 to 60%, and then as we get into the afternoon, we'll drop that rain chance to about 30%. And with the lower rain chances this afternoon, that may play a part in those temperatures warming somewhere in the upper 80s to low 90s. We've got more rain on the way for part of the weekend. I'll have those details for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Elita. Breaking overnight, police say a man is dead after a crashed attempted carjacking shoot.
And first at 4, an update to a story here. Charges against a teenager who was accused of untying a steer at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo earlier this year have been dropped. Court records show Alonso Apodaca completed an effective decision-making course instead of jail time, and that he would have been facing for deadly conduct. And happening today, underdogs from Houston Christian University, they have arrived over in Austin.
Yeah, the baseball team set to take on the #1 ranked Texas Longhorns in today's NCAA.
And coming up after the break, our Liliana Pearson is working to get some answers about the Liberty police response to a mental health call involving a young pregnant woman. Meanwhile, Hamas says the deal does not respond to their demands, which include a permanent end to the war. Now to this story here to Liberty County, where 2 months ago we told you about a tragic incident. Now, officers with the Liberty Police Department were doing a mental health check on a woman when they say that she somehow got an officer's service weapon and then reporting there. Isker is facing 1 count of misdemeanor assault, and she has no criminal history in Harris County, but Gibbs says that she had confronted him weeks earlier about his bagpipe playing, and also it also happened there along the trail. The first time he says it never got physical, so police were never called. I'm just saying. Okay, still ahead on First at 4, the Ike Dike has been a talking point for years, but researchers now say that it won't be enough to protect us from the next big storm. The $7 billion plan that they say is needed to not just save Houston, but also the world. Welcome back. Research shows that hurricanes are getting more intense, and experts say our region may not be equipped to handle catastrophic storm surge. And All right, and there is one more key component here. So this is a mock-up of a gate. You can see it there behind me. It's a device that can float out into the ship channel, connect and fill up with water, and then sink. And so there's nothing like it in the world right now, but as the experts at the Severe Storm Prediction, Education, and Evacuation from Disaster Center explained to our Brianna Connor, it's critical for not just Houston, but internationally as well. The active and colorful radar we have. Well, good morning, everyone, on your Friday. Yes, it's Friday. I'm Charly Edsitty.
And I'm Courtney Carpenter. Happy Friday to you. Let's turn now to our friend, Elita Loresca. Girl, more rain.
We do have more rain. We actually missed out on a lot of rain at Bush Airport yesterday. We were kind of quiet for most. Today, I think those rain chances and forecast whether or not this rainy weather pattern sticks around. Coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Elita. Breaking overnight, police say a man is dead after a crash, attempted carjacking, a shooting, and then yet another carjacking.
Yeah, this morning police are on the search for the suspect.
A warning about a jury duty scheme. A man says that he lost $8,000 to someone posing as a county employee. And the teenager who admitted to untying steers at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is no longer facing charges. Good morning. If you're just waking up, let's get you caught up. Here are your top stories at 5. Thank goodness he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Well, now to this story here. We are counting down the days to the city's 4th of July celebration. We're talking about freedom over Texas, which is less than 40 days away. And ABC 13 is the exclusive television partner.
The city revealed its lineup for the festival. Our Bob Slowback reports from Eleanor Tinsley Park, where the yearly celebration happens. Friday morning to you. I'm Courtney Carpenter.
And I'm Charly Edsitty. All right, let's check in with meteorologist Elita Loresca, who's taken a very close look at our forecast. The radar looks busy.
It is. It is very busy, especially on the west side of town. But all of that rain that's over the hill country, that is moving in our direction. And that's what we're going to be tracking. And chances coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Elita, thank you. This morning, the Houston Police Department is still looking for a man that they say was responsible for a brazen, deadly shooting on a feeder road. And that was our Luke Jones reporting there. Isker is facing 1 count of misdemeanor assault. Okay, it is 5:40. Let's talk some college baseball, shall we? Houston Christian is in Austin to take on #1 seed Texas in today's NCAA Tournament Open. Okay, how much are you willing to spend on a first date? Well, your answer could depend on your location. We'll explain after the break.
Later next week as well, ladies.
Okay, Elita, we know you got us covered. Thank you for that. A new bill is heading to Governor Abbott's desk that supporters say makes it easier to deal with squatters, but opponents say it could actually make it easier for landlords to evict tenants.
Not surprisingly, the bill has the support of landlords groups, but it's facing opposition from tenant rights groups. ABC 13 reporter Pooja Lodia has more on what it means for you.
Well, take a listen to this story here. A family in Atlanta has their chihuahua to thank for escaping a house. To spell then eclair.
I have no idea what he smelled. Way to go. No clue.
I read the definition to clear up something obscure.
Oh,
so,
right.
New word.
Always use that in my everyday language.
Okay, our newsroom is working on several top stories as we head right into our 6 a.m. newscast.
Breaking overnight, a driver shot during a struggle with an alleged carjacker. We're following the manhunt for that suspect.
And a warning from authorities after a Houston man says that he was swindled out of thousands of dollars after being told that he allegedly missed jury duty.
And also at 6, the special hot air balloon landing at this morning at Herman Park. It's coming up.
County by county coverage takes us to Galveston, Fort Bend, and Harris counties. And we start in Galveston County, where Friendswood police say a bank robbery suspect used an airsoft gun in a hole. And new this morning, a Texas teen is the top speller in the nation. Now we're checking in with Elita over at the Weather Center. And so I see you. There you are.
Right here, and then I was like, oh,
yeah.
there I am.
Well, I was just going to say, I see you busy on the computer, so that means we have a busy radar, right?
Yes, always during this time, I'm